All right. Good morning, everyone. And thank you so much for joining us all here today. Today's Shiur should be Leil Nishmas, our dear friend Menachem ben Yisrael Yaakov, as well as my dear aunt Rivka Bas Gavriel Tzvi, and L'Refuah Shalema Bekarov Meshulam ben Sarah Rachel, and L'Refuah Shalema Miriam Bas Sarah. Now, we are going to come on to the tail end today of the third spiritual benefit of bitachon. And the third spiritual benefit of bitachon was talking about the 10 different reasons why a person with bitachon is better than the alchemist. And so today we're going to finish up the last few of those. V'hashavi. And the seventh way in which a person who places trust in Hashem is better off than the alchemist is Shabala Kamiyah that the alchemist cannot truly rely on his money that he's going to be able to eat and live for the rest of his life. Why? Because sometimes there might not be any food available. And what's going to happen is when there's scarcity in food, even money won't help you over there. And it talks about over there, it says over there by the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash, it talks about they will throw their silver in the streets and their gold will become repulsive. Their silver and their gold will not be able to rescue them on the day of Hashem's fury. They will not satisfy their souls and will not fill their stomachs. The point he's making over here is that when it comes a time of famine, even people who have a lot of money can't buy food because nobody wants to sell it. Because at the end of the day, the money is not going to keep you alive, it's the food that's going to keep you alive. And so what people will tend to do is to hoard that food and not sell it at all. Maybe you'll go for exorbitant prices, but at the end of the day, the more diminished that food supply becomes, the less available it is, because people are just going to hold on to it for themselves, for their own sustenance. And so he's saying over here that this hope that this alchemist has, that feeling that his money is going to bring him security, is convoluted, because it can come a time where his money won't be worth anything either. And further it says, V'amar gam kaspam gam v'zahav lo yuchal atzilam. And it says over there, likewise, even their silver, even their gold will not be able to rescue them on the day of Hashem's fury. V'abateach b'Hashem lo yibatza mimenu mizoynoi b'chol esav v'chol mokem atzaf yomav. But the person who has bitachon, the person who has trust in Hashem every single day, he understands that his sustenance will come to him from Hashem. And the person who has bitachon, it says over here, it says that in famine, Hashem will deliver you from death. That a person who trusts in Hashem, Hashem will make sure you don't starve. V'amar Hashem roi loi echsa. David HaMelech says, I, my shepherd, I shall not lack. He talks about over here multiple times throughout bitachon. Talks and brings David HaMelech. David HaMelech always brings the concept of the shepherd and the sheep. And he says, I trust in my shepherd, I am your sheep, and I will not lack. I will not go hungry. V'amar lo yeveshu be'es ra uvimei ra'avon yisbal. And it also says in the pasuk, they will not be shamed in time of calamity, and their days of famine they will be satiated. That when it comes to times of turmoil, they will be taken care of. And when it comes to time of famine, Hashem will always be there for them so that they don't go hungry. That's the seventh. Now the eighth advantage of bitachon over alchemy. V'hashmini, the eighth way in which one who trusts in Hashem is better off than the alchemist, is Shabal HaKamiyah Einenu Mis'abiv B'Shum Makam. That the alchemist cannot stay in any one place for an extended period of time. Mir Osei Shemo Yizgal L'Sayda, because he's afraid that a secret vocation will become exposed. Now, we spoke about this concept a bit. And the first of the concepts we spoke about, in the third advantage, Rav Av noted that the alchemist's life is in danger if his craft is discovered, and therefore he cannot trust anyone with the secret, so he doesn't have any friends. In the fifth advantage about this, which is similar, he added that because of fear of people finding out, he's always the Rav Av adds that he's always going to be afraid of people finding out. That's not that he can't have friends; he just lives in constant fear and turmoil. But over here, he says that it might expose him. And therefore, you're going to see over here in a minute that it has to do also with his death, that it might be sought after they're going to want to kill him. But going over here, Shema Yizgala said because he's afraid that his secret will become exposed. But as one who trusts in Hashem, and he secured his land and he can remain calmly in his place, that a person who has trust in Hashem doesn't have to worry about other people, doesn't have to worry about where he lives, doesn't have to worry about people finding out what he does for a living, and therefore he's fine staying in the community, the place where he lives, in his country, in his city. He doesn't have to run around always. It says, trust in Hashem and do good, dwell in the land and nourish yourself with faithfulness. That you could stay over there. Don't have to run around. You could cement your family in that area, and you don't have to keep on picking yourself up and moving. It also says in the pasuk that the righteous will inherit the land and dwell forever upon it. That the people who trust in Hashem, they're going to be able to be secure, that they don't have to worry always about what they're going to need, what they have, or what they're looking forward to, or whether or not they're going to go hungry. And that's the benefit of bitachon. The ninth advantage of bitachon over alchemy. That the alchemist's comfort is not everlasting. Because why? For the alchemist, his resulting fortune will not accompany him in his life's end. Now the alchemist thinks that the money that he has is going to be the one all for everything in his life. That's going to bring him peace. At the end of the day, he might die and has nothing from that. But he says over here, he says, maybe this alchemist doesn't think about the afterlife. But even in this world, the alchemist cannot get anything other than the secure feeling that he's safe from poverty. Let's say. So he wired his brain to say that if I have enough money, I'll never be poor. And that's what he needs for security. But the alchemist is not secure that he's not going to get ill. The alchemist is not secure that he's going to have a family and be happy. And therefore, his one reason, he might be right, but his one reason for being rich is he's going to have comfort in his life is not guaranteed, because the only thing he might have is maybe he won't be poor. But his health he won't have, relationships he won't have, he won't be happy with anything. And therefore, but for the one who trusts in Hashem, his reward of bitachon will accompany him and provide well-being in this world, his ultimate goodness, and the world to come. So ba'olam hazeh and ba'olam haba. And that follows him along with the alchemist. It doesn't follow him along because he doesn't deserve his place in olam haba. He enjoys well-being in this world, as is written, many are the agonies of the wicked, but as for the one who trusts in Hashem, kindness surrounds him. That the person who are wicked, they don't deserve anything. And when it comes to olam haba, they won't get anything. So not only will they turmoil, not only will they have a miserable life on this world, but when it comes to olam haba, they won't have anything there either. It also says in the pasuk, how abundant is your goodness that you have stored away for those who fear you. And that's also another line that we're going to see many times throughout Shaar Habitachon, that we will talk about that. We will talk about the abundant of the goodness of Hashem for the ones who trust in Hashem, who fear Hashem, and the ones who are good to Him and go in His ways. And the 10th and final advantage of bitachon over alchemy. V'hasiri, Shabal hakemiya im yevada yenyone tia sibas moisay, that the alchemist is not safe, because if they find out about his occupation, he becomes known to everybody, it will bring him about his death. Why? Because the goal for which the person who labors and toils and contradicts undermines the healthy economic function of this world. The alchemist, everyone knows he's a fraud, he's a faker. He's not known to everybody. If they find out, they're going to know about that, and that wreaks havoc on the economy. That wreaks havoc on the traditional, normal processes of life, of regular commerce. And the Shaar Habitachon says over here, Rav Av says that not only is it from a human being standpoint, not only is the government going to look after you and they treat you worse than they treat a thief, because you're actually wreaking havoc on the entire economy, but it says that Hashem also says that you deserve death. Why? Because Hashem created a world to work b'derech hateva in certain ways, And you are trying to change that. You are trying to change that by making something out of nothing. You are a fraud. You're a con artist. And that's what Hashem says, that a person like that deserves death, and not only by Hashem's hand, but by the people of the land as well. And so in this 10th advantage of bitachon over the alchemist is that the person with bitachon never has this fear that he's going to be sought out, he's going to be caught, and then he's going to be killed. But as for the one who trusts in Hashem, when his bitachon becomes known, he will become greater in people's eyes. So the complete opposite of the alchemist. The alchemist is in constant fear of people, but the person with bitachon, that person, he becomes greater in people's eyes. And he says, why? Because if a person trusts in Hashem, that Hashem will provide for him, then he never looks to be unfaithful to others. He never looks to lie to other people. He doesn't want to be a faker, a fraud. He doesn't want to do things in a ways that are not according to halakha, and therefore people see that. People see that this person is a true Oved Hashem, a person that you can trust, a person that in this world, every person, the bus of Adam, every single person is going to trust you, and they respect you, they revere you, they look up to you because you're a person that fears Hashem, and they see that. And they want to work together with you. They want to be your friend. They want to do business with you. They want to do shidduchim with you because you are a person who trusts in Hashem, and because of that, your life over here in this world is not busy with trying to figure out ways of how to twist the whole system. And that is the 10th level, the 10th reason, rather, that a person with bitachon is better than the alchemist. And just I want to summarize really, really, really quickly the 10 things that we learned over the last couple of days. In the first one, the alchemist's success depends on the availability of specific materials, whereas a person with bitachon understands that Hashem has limitless resources. The second was the alchemist's craft is hazardous, whereas a person with bitachon looks for work that is not hazardous because he knows all he has to do is do ishtadlus and Hashem is going to provide for him. The alchemist must be secretive about his craft, whereas a person with bitachon doesn't have to be secretive. He can be proudly and tell everybody his faith in Hashem. The fourth is the alchemist is afraid to prepare large sums in advance. Why? Because he's afraid that somebody might steal it from him. The fifth reason, the alchemist lives in constant fear of people. Whereas a person with bitachon, people love him, people want to be around him. The sixth reason is the alchemist is susceptible to debilitating illnesses. The guy is always he's not always worried that maybe the money is one thing, but getting sick is another. Whereas a person with bitachon knows that Hashem is always going to save him, unless it's for his good. And we understand that could happen as well. The alchemist has no guarantee that he will find food to buy with his money, so his money is no good in certain times. But the person with bitachon trusts that he will always be fed by Hashem. The eighth reason is the alchemist is afraid to remain long in one place. Because why? He's afraid someone's going to find out about him. Whereas the person with bitachon doesn't care. He's not worried. As a matter of fact, he wants to stay over here. He knows that Hashem loves him, and everybody else is going to see that. The ninth reason is the alchemist benefits from his craft only in this world. And he has a limited sense of security in this world. But the person with bitachon knows that in this world he's taken care of, and because he does well by Hashem, and he does Hashem's will, on the other world, and Olam Haba, will also be taken care of. And the 10th is the alchemist will be killed if discovered, whereas a person with bitachon always gains respect and admiration from other people on this world. The Brisker Rav says a little piece on the greatest profession. He says bitachon is the greatest profession, but he brings really quickly a pasuk. He says over here, it says, Kavei el Hashem chazek v'yamatz libecha v'kavei el Hashem. Hope to Hashem, strengthen yourself, and He will give you courage and hope that you should be able to hope to Hashem. So he says over here, I don't understand. What is the benefit of bitachon? It says over here, Kavei el Hashem chazek v'yamatz libecha v'kavei el Hashem, that the benefit is that Hashem will give you more encouragement to be able to hope some more. So where's the payoff? Where's the payoff that I get for trusting in Hashem, that I want my money, I want the bitachon? What does it give me, if not more hope? He says, yes. By Hashem giving you what you think you need. By, let's say it's money, and He gives you millions of dollars, but then you might lose your bitachon. And so he's saying over here, it's not that you won't get what you need or what you feel that you want. It's not that you won't get that. The bracha of Kavei el Hashem chazak v'yamas lebecha v'kavei el Hashem is that Hashem gives you the ability that if you trust in me, I will further give you the ability, the benefit, to be able to always trust in me until death do us part. for all your life on this world, you will be able to trust in Hashem, and that is what is going to bring you peace of mind every single day. Not that you made $1 million in your business last month, because that not necessarily is going to bring you the peace of mind, but Kaveh El Hashem Chazak V'Yam Kaveh El Hashem is that I give you the opportunity that if you trust in me, I will further give you the opportunity to trust in me, because that is what brought you peace of mind every single day of the week. And that concludes the third spiritual benefit of bitachon over the alchemist. Thank you everyone, each and every one of you, for joining us today, and I love you all.